So one neighborhood you guys have seen me in a lot of videos is Logan Square. That's a neighborhood like directly to the west of where I stay at. It's the neighborhood where the mayor Lori Lightfoot used to live. It's a predominantly Latino community. Some whites have moved in like in the last probably 20 years, 20, 30 years, but it's mostly like Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. So it's like as far as income goes, I would not say that it's like a hood, but it's definitely not rich either. And so this video is actually going to be about one particular guy. You got a lot of interesting characters in Logan Square, man. And there was one guy who was actually a white guy. His name was Joseph Necto. He was 42 years old, exact same age as me. And he was actually, I think, originally from the suburbs, but he had at some point moved to Logan Square, and he was there for years. And he became homeless. He was living on the street. But to make money, he thought up a very interesting idea, and that was that he dressed up like a clown and he was going around selling uh, balloons that he would like make into animals for $1 a piece. And he became like a cornerstone of the community, man. Like everybody in the neighborhood loved him, knew him. He would just go around and talk to people. He was actually like an incredibly smart guy. He had a degree in early childhood education. So he would just be out there on the streets walking around in this clown uniform. People called him Joey the Clown, not the mobster Joey the Clown, but yeah. So he would just be passing out balloons to the kids. The parents would buy them for $1, and everybody in the neighborhood loved him. He would sit there and talk to people for hours about like any topic. He knew about everything: architecture, arts, music, like anything you wanted to talk about, he knew about. And he was just a really loving guy. Like everybody in the neighborhood loved him. He was found dead about 2 weeks ago over by 60th and Lakeshore Drive. Now, Lakeshore Drive is the street that runs along the lake, and 60th, that's all the way on the south side, not the far south side, but it's the south side, and it's about 80 blocks south of Logan Square, so it's nowhere near Logan Square. And he, to my knowledge, did not have a car. It's possible he could have taken the bus over there, but the cause of death has still not been determined, and the manner of death has not been determined. So nobody knows like how he died or how he, if it was natural cause or if he got killed or what it was. So I want to say rest in peace to Joey, and anybody that's got information on this death. You guys can hit me up in the comment section, man, because everybody in Logan Square knew him. I mean, I was saying literally every single person, but he was just like one of the buildings in that neighborhood, man. Just like a cornerstone of the community. He'd been there for years, and he never like harmed a fly. So yeah, anybody that knows anything about that, man, hit me up in the comment section. Logan Square is a neighborhood that's on the up and up. There's been a lot of gentrification, and that's another thing that I want to just speak on real quick because one other neighborhood that's happening is Pilsen. A lot of the Latino communities in Chicago, that's taking place. Logan Square is a big one, and Pilsen's another. Pilsen is on the near south side, um, and there was a bakery over there. I think it was a bakery. It was either a restaurant or a bakery that's actually owned by two Mexicans. It recently opened up in 2019, and it was just vandalized with graffiti that said like gentrifiers out or something like that, like get out of Pilsen, um, like calling them gentrifiers. Now these are Mexicans. I don't know if the people who made that graffiti know that the people that own that place are Mexicans, but I mean, if they do know, they vandalized the wrong place because Pilsen is supposed to be like a historically Latino community. But again, like I said, a lot of whites have moved in. But any place that's new over there, it looks like the changing face of the neighborhood. So it's a very controversial issue over there. I had interviewed a couple Mexican guys on the channel probably about 8 years ago about this issue, and they were talking about it like a lot of people are heavily resistive to it. But like I said about the migrants, man, forces of economics. A lot of this real estate where there's gentrification going on is going on as prime real estate that poor people had inhabited for a long time, but it's so close to the downtown area, prime commuting spot. So, you know, that money makes the world go around, and it's going around right now. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section, man. Rest in peace to Joey the Clown. Let me know what you think about the gentrification going on in Pilsen and Logan Square. Are you in favor of it, or do you think that where do you see this going? Like personally, I don't see the current residents being kicked out. Like the Latinos that have been living there for decades. What I see is that they're making money on this because a lot of them own buildings, and the buildings that they owned have skyrocketed in value. I mean, skyrocketed, bro. There was one guy I knew. He was a friend of mine when I was working security. Like this is about 18 years ago. I think it was his uncle. It was either his uncle or his dad had owned a building in Logan Square, and that he had bought for like peanuts. And now the building is worth millions, like literally millions. He just hung on onto it and stayed in the neighborhood. And I don't see too many of them being kicked out. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section, man. This is your boy Chicago News. I'm out.